Hey everybody, welcome back to microbeerreviews.com. We've got a very unique, limited release special beer here for you. It's from the Bell's Brewing Company out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. We've done a bunch of their reviews. This is called Hop Slam Ale. It's got a really cool hop that's kind of smushing this guy. This beer, it is now the something of January, and it was brewed on January 9th of 2012. So it's we're looking at like 14, I don't know, just over 2 weeks when it was brewed. I live on the East Coast, fairly southern East Coast, and it was already in our stores. I bought it last week, and the day I was there was the day it came in. So you can talk about getting beer that's fresh, is my point. This one bottle, 12 ounces, you probably won't be able to see this, was $5. So some 6-packs you can get for $5. This one bottle was $5. That would be a $30 6-pack. But the specialty beer store that I go to, the guy that owns it, he gives me awesome advice, and he says, you need to try this one. It's good. Trust me. What it is essentially, they call it a biting, bitter, tongue bruiser of an ale, and it is 10% alcohol. It is definitely a very high alcohol content beer. Now, it's brewed with 6 different hops, and it talks about how they have, it's a very dry hopped beer. There's they talk about on the website, there's this complex brewing hopping procedure during their brew process. It says they're selected and they're very specific about which hops go in at what time. And then it says these were selected because of their aromatic qualities and their Pacific Northwest varieties that contribute to a very pungent, and it's a very pungent flavor and aroma with blends of grapefruit, stone fruit, and floral notes. So that's kind of vague, but you can tell. I mean, one of the reasons why I was recommended to try this was he said it's a very complex beer. Now, granted, if you read the website, you can just tell the brewing process is complex, but when you drink it, you can't really label anything to it. I mean, it looks a lot like an Indian Pale Ale or a Pale Ale, but more on the Indian side. A little bit lighter in color, not as caramely. It's got really, really nice head. When it poured, it had a phenomenal head. You open up the bottle, and it was boom, hops. Now, it's nothing like a Hopsecutioner, for example, which is just extremely hoppy. This one has, I think, a lot more of the fruit undertones than maybe what they give it credit for. It does say it has stone fruit and grapefruit. You can definitely smell that and taste that. The floral notes I don't particularly like. I'm not a clove fan. A lot of the other kind of fruity-tooty, like floral aromas and flavors, I don't like. This is not that way. It is a very undertone of a tone of the floral aspect. The other cool thing about this is they talk about there is they say a generous malt bill and a solid dollop of honey. Which makes you kind of think of it as like a double IPA. The honey you can taste. You can definitely taste it. It's more on the aftertaste side, but it's kind of like you get the hops, and then you get a little bit of grapefruit, nice sweetness, and then you get a little bit of honey, a little more sweetness, but a completely different flavor. But then it finishes really dry. It doesn't finish like you're sucking on a candy that has honey in it, with that real strong sweet aftertaste. It doesn't have that. That goes back to the complexity of the beer. I mean, you can tell that this beer was not just kind of thrown together. Now, I know if you look on their website right now in January, it's the end of January right now, they're having a Hop Slam tasting, and I think, I don't live there, I don't want to misquote, but on the website, it was the first one that I could see that they were going to do. So, I mean, this is as fresh and as new as you can get in 2012 for, something new and unique out there. These were only sold in singles. I'm sure you could buy 6 for $30 if you want, but that's the only way I could find it. The website does say they come in 6-packs and on draft, and it's kind of a winter seasonal, is what it said. I'm glad I bought it. I'm really glad I bought it. I don't like to spend $5 for 12 ounces, but it is so different than a lot of other beers because you can tell there's like different stages of flavor and different stages of your palate, and not only that, but the aroma that kind of come through as you drink it. It's been sitting here for a little bit now, and when you smell it now, like right now, all I smell are hops with a little bit of maybe grapefruit to it. The first kind of sip I took, I tasted a lot of hops and some honey. I mean, I just think it's one of those beers that has a lot of just unique qualities to it. I would buy it again. I would buy. The other thing about this is it says it's only good up to 6 months on shelf life, which I really appreciate when breweries do this, because a beer like this, I'm not hesitant to buy 3, 4, 5, or a 6-pack of them, and then keep them in a wine cooler and maybe have them throughout the year or have them, next year. And at 10% alcohol, they usually store very, very well. But they're telling you don't store it more than 6 months. We can't guarantee the quality. So that's important to know, and I really, really appreciate it, especially at $5 a bottle that they tell you that. So great, great beer. I would give it at least a 4. I've given a lot of 4s recently because the beers are good. I'd buy them again. I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth you trying to find it. I think it's worth you going out and getting. And I enjoy it. I would buy it again. So that was kind of where I used to give a lot of 3s or 3.5s, but I've just noticed that a lot of the beers I've had, especially during the winter season, which is my favorite brewing season, the beers have just been awesome. So check this out. Hop Slam from Bell's Brewing Company. Thanks for watching MikeReviews.com. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on the web. Thanks for watching. See you again real soon. Cheers.